Hello guys, in today's video I'm going to break down how you can make sure that your data quality is always at 100%, meaning that you can constantly rely on your data as you scale, as things change, as tools change, as the processes change, making sure you're always able to rely on the data. You don't need to be in chaotic environment anymore. Because many organizations that we come into and we engage with, their experiences basically the big thing that the biggest problem they are facing is really bad data quality, meaning they cannot rely on their data. It's inconsistent, inaccurate. There's a lot of duplicate records. Maybe so for a couple of months the data quality process they have, okay, the data is accurate, but as soon as the things change, tools change, people change, strategies change, everything goes back to zero, right? And in this video I'm going to make sure and explain how you can always rely on your data, making sure that never happens. Now, why should you even listen to me? Well, we generate over plus 10 million in revenue just by bridging the gap between data and business, by helping businesses build and implement custom data analytical infrastructure, KBI, ecosystems, and basically turn their raw data into actionable insights, right? Now, let's go into the video directly. Now, the first step that you need to do is you need to map your current data sources, right? You need to identify the inconsistencies, the duplicates, the gaps by comparing them to the past records, aka the existing records, right? This often basically happens when you are conducting data strategy assessment. What is data strategy? I'm going to link down below one video which is going to give you a macro view of what that is, but in short lines, that's like conducting interviews with specific end users, okay, the end users who are going to be using the data to make data-driven decisions, right? And that's for majority of the cases. If you're an organization, that's going to be, let's say, in your sales department is going to be your sales manager, VP of sales. In your marketing is going to be your CMO, product managers, marketing managers, and so on and so forth. On the board is going to be CEO, founders, CFOs, CROs, supply chain director if you have supply chain, and depends on whoever is going to be utilizing data across the company and across the board. And once you're on interview, you're going to talk to them, you're going to see, and if you're going to do it yourself, you're going to see what data sources you have, how is the reporting process currently set up, what is missing and lacking in the current reporting process, meaning you're going to see, okay, this is the metric you're currently answering, how are you answering it, what's missing with the current way, what's the problem with the current way, okay, we are not getting this XYZ information, okay, why are we not getting XYZ information, because of why, we cannot get X and Y, Z questions answered, why, because the data is inaccurate, constantly changes, blah, 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 the API is bad, and so on and so forth, right? You will understand where the bottlenecks happen by doing that. Now, once you implement and map your current data sources, for this second example, I'm going to pick CRM, right? You need to fix the data first in the data source. And why I picked CRM is because CRM is mostly prone to errors, and you have a lot of customer and sales data inside of it, meaning it's very rich with data, and you can utilize the data to be able to produce, okay, turn the data into an asset and actually use it to produce business outcomes. So you cannot just forget about CRM. You need to actually extract the data from the CRM to be able to use it. And to use it, you need to set up correct systems, processes, making sure that as you scale, as you grow, as things change, as people change, as processes change, the data is always correct. Now, of course, there's going to be iterations inside of that as well, of course, down the line, but this will help you making sure there is no big major disruptions. And you need to fix the data inside of the data sources, meaning, let's say in the CRM, you need to create certain custom fields when the sales rep is adding a new contact, or making an automation that whenever the new contact is added, it automatically populates that specific field. So you're able to, by utilizing ETL, automatically pull that info without major aggregations or extracting from another tool. You can just extract it directly from the CRM and so on and so forth. Now, in this step, you need to also make sure that doesn't disrupt the operational inefficiency, meaning you cannot just tell and think that sales reps or any other people you're going to be utilizing this if they don't have anything in for them. So make sure that you don't add bunch of unnecessary info if it relies on manual processes, right? In this case, if it's CRM. Now, after that is done, let's say the third step, you need to establish clear data roles. Basically, you need to assign clear roles and responsibilities whoever is going to be in charge if there is a manual input inside of the data source, right? That's one of the reasons why I choose CRM here. If there is no manual input inside of the data source, great, amazing. But majority of the cases, the data quality happens, takes a hit when there is a manual process involved. And you need to create SOPs and trainings, making sure how to do that, certain task, how long do you need to do it, okay, explain it A to Z, and at what specific times, okay, frequency you need to do that task. And here's an example how we do it, so you're able to do. Basically, these are, in our world, this is called the data stewardship. So you understand, you have the name, title, whoever is responsible, the responsibilities they have, the data source affecting, metrics affecting. Here should also add ETL affecting if you are a data pipeline, so you know what data pipeline is affected by this, and training URL, meaning the SOP. So they know how to do this process, and make sure you embed the training URL and so on and so forth directly in that place they are doing that task, right? And make sure they agree and they have watched it 100% of the time. And this should become like, this isn't something a major thing, but it's very straightforward. They should just be they should just watch it, do it, and you constantly oversee their tasks. And sooner or later it's going to become a norm, right? And same when the other people, let's say that person goes to another company and somebody new joins, they're able to do the same automatically ASAP, and it's not going to look anything different, right? And as you're able to see now how this makes it scalable. And this is for sake of the CRM. Fourth, measure the data quality. Now, how do you measure data quality? We have here 4 metrics that we measure here at the Stella that are the most important. Accuracy, are the values correct? How to do that is basically you have a certain historical data that you know for a fact it's correct, and you're able to compare that with a new one, right? And if it matches, it's approved. If it's not, it gets not approved and you get alerted. Completeness, that's what percentage of the required fields are populated, meaning if certain fields have to be populated, certain columns have to be populated, they cannot be null, you're able to see that automatically. Consistency, is data uniformly represented across the systems? It's very similar to completeness, I would say, a little bit different, right? Meaning that's equally represented all across, there is no missing values, or there is no something inconsistencies that should happen, but there is not, it's not visible inside of your data warehouse. And uniqueness, meaning that there are not any duplicate records, meaning could duplicate customer's ID for sake of the CRM example, and so on and so forth, lead duplicates, etc., right? Because it's going to disrupt the process of the reporting and data quality. Now, here's some of the technical implementation checks tests that you can do. Now, the standard that we do, and majority of companies that we do, when I work in house, how they do it, and we do it right now, which is the best, is set up the automated checks to monitor data quality, and you get notified in Slack or email, aka one preferred channel for that data engineer, analytical engineer, whoever is in charge of overseeing this. If something goes wrong, they're able to get notified ASAP and check and fix before everybody else notices it, right? If it happens, of course, the big thing is making sure that doesn't happen. Examples included. Now, dimensional checks. Basically, it triggers alerts if value exceeds certain criteria. Imagine that you have, the data should be in between, but this is your, let's say, range, and the data, let's say, goes up. And you're going to get alerted here because you know that shouldn't be above certain value, right? And this is, let's say, value can exceed 10,000. And automatically it's going to tell you that something is wrong. And that doesn't mean that's your fault or something happens, but maybe some other system just broke. And it's very good to alert this overall to the company. Uniqueness check. You ensure that there is no duplicates, aka unique customer's ID. Very simple to do, simple query. Relevance checks, confirm pipelines run daily, display the most recent data. That means last run was 3 hours ago and completed. If you know that your data pipeline is constantly running, let's say every few minutes, every few hours, you know that if there is a previous run and it's completed, basically it's good, it's a check mark. That's a good sign, right? Because if it's good, that means that that if the issue happens, is happening right now, right? The last one, volume checks. Track expected rows or counts, meaning that if you're expecting that for a certain table you're gonna receive, I don't know, let's say you have 50k table, 500k table, for sake of example, 500k, and you know that each day you're gonna get around 5k, not below 5k. You know for a fact that 5k below you're not gonna get. But one certain day you get just 20 rows updated, and you're gonna get alerted at ASAP, right? That's very good to check, and so on. You can also build yourself a custom dashboard, basically data quality dashboard, which you can check and monitor this. We use this for our data engineers. They can oversee all our clients, and they can just check every day, daily, and manually to see if anything happens, even before the alerts come in, if they come in. And here's just a simple sketch, like a flowchart, how it works. You have your data quality criteria, the query running. Basically, this is built either SQL, Python, or any other tool, which I'm going to explain it later. If it's accurate, continuous, and the current pipeline schedule, and so on and so forth. If it's inaccurate, basically, pardon, this is something irrelevant. But if it's inaccurate, you get alerted to Slack directly or email, whatever it is. Now, 6. Use the right tools. What tools you need to use? Basically, you can have custom solutions developed for this using Python or SQL. A lot of cloud platforms, like data platforms, have this already in them that you can utilize. Let's say for BigQuery, it has data quality. I think it's called Panelx, or data something like that, data quality scan, which we utilize a lot. Making sure that you can also, DDP also has in theirs built in. You can also utilize Airflow, which is more so like an orchestration tool, but it will help you and see when a certain job fails, so your engineer able to go and see and go back to see why it failed and automatically fix the issue. Okay, raise the question. 7, provide ongoing support and maintenance. This is the key, basically maintaining constant feedback between business leaders and users, okay, and your data team. Regular updates, documentations for data catalog, stewardship, and related processes that have to be maintained every time. Of course, some of these solutions that are currently on the market, they do that automatically, which you can do as well. But at lower scale, if you have it, you can just utilize spreadsheets, Excel, and so on and so forth, making this manual, because it shouldn't put too much emphasis on this a lot. But there is certain, as you scale, you're going to probably have this automated as well to a degree. And this is a quick rundown of how you can maintain your data quality at 100% every time as you scale. If you're looking to build and finally rely on your data, turn your raw data into actionable insights, build custom analytical ecosystem, dashboards, and so on and so forth, basically utilize data more effectively to gain an edge, increase your profits, EBITDA, and enterprise value, you can book a call with our exploration team. Click down below link on a newsletter, and it's going to redirect you to that specific page. See you soon.